Now, this is an extraordinary context. Although it is spoken for man, it is for the collectivity. It is not that every one of us is going to meet it, arrive at it. It is for the exceptional individuals. It is for those who draw near to God. We have not done sufficient tapasya, sadhana to become close to God, you see. How many of us come to that exceptional expectation? We continue to be happy in ignorance. We continue to remain safe under the protecting ignorance and possibly once in a while desire to get out of it. The desire which does not have much force, much intensity in it to get out of it. Desire which could just be some vital wish or a mental formulation, a vague passing idea, a notion, a fancy. We live with the surface soul in the outward nature, in the transient ego self, but there is the tussle in the greatness of life, demanding the greatness of a true self. An hour comes when fail all nature's means. Here are some examples. You see, he had to give some examples. This is true in the case of the avatars and great vibhutis. I don't know whether such an hour had come in the case of Vivekananda, for instance. And perhaps it did come. But he was a very strong person. And he did not believe God and all that kind of thing. He used to challenge Ramakrishna, show me your God. And then only I will accept you, that kind of a thing. So it was a moment in his life. And Ramakrishna showed him that the cross to complete his work. Nothing could be done when Sita fell under the sway of phantom deer in the Ramayana. You see, she sees a deer and she wore the skin of the deer to make a garment for her, you see. And then she is trapped and abducted and all that kind of thing that happened. Time spirit, Arjuna, destroyer, etc. Did such an hour arrive in the life of Shyamandu? Yes, it did. When nature's means failed. When I was arrested and hurried to the Lal Bazar Hazrat, I was shaken in faith for a while. I was shaken for a while, for I could not look into the heart of his intention. Therefore, I faltered for a moment and cried out in my heart to him, what is this that has happened to me? Even is asking when he's taken up position. I believed that I had a mission to work for the people of my country, and until that work was done, I should have died protection. Why your protection was not there at the time? Why am I here now? Why then am I here and on such a charge? A day passed, and a second day, and a third, when a voice came from within. Wait and see. An hour had fallen on him. Supernatural darkness is there. He is asked to wait. And then the voice tells him, wait and see. Then I grew calm and waited. I was taken from Lal Bazar to Alipur and was placed for 1 month in a solitary cell apart from men. There I waited day and night for the voice of God within me to know what He had to say for me, to me, to learn what I had to do. So this is the hour just fallen, and here it comes now the voice. So it is not nature which can help. It is something else which is helping here. In this seclusion, the earliest realization, the first lesson it came to me. I remembered then that a month or more before my arrest, a call had come to me to put aside all activity. He was told before he was arrested, forget about all the activities, political, etc. But then Shivindu did not obey that call at that time. To go in seclusion and to look into thyself, so that I might enter into closer communion with him, I was weak and could not accept the call. He was given the hint. The possibility was there. He was told that thing. But he said, I was weak. I was there, etc. It seemed to me that he spoke to me again and said, the bonds you had not the strength to break, because he was weak and he was kind of attached. He had bonds for the country, for the good of the etc. etc. He could not break those bonds, you see. That he spoke again and said, the bonds you had not strength to break, I have broken for you. Because it is not my will, nor was it my intention that it should continue, etc. etc. And then Shivamandu, the voice, the person who is guiding him, he puts the Gita in his hand. It is Sri Krishna himself who is speaking to him, and he puts the Gita in his hand. And at that time, then Shivamandu practices the yoga of the Gita in the jail, you see, and has all those realizations. The realizations of the Gita in the jail itself, you see. Within 2 months, he got all the wonderful experiences to see, etc. etc. This is the dharma that for the salvation of humanity was cherished in the seclusion of this peninsula from old. It is to give this illusion that India is rising. She does not rise as other countries do for self or when she is strong to trample on the weak. She is rising to shed the eternal light entrusted to her over the world. India always existed for humanity and not for herself, and humanity and not herself that she must be great. That was the hour when failed all nature's means. In the life of Shivananda himself, you see. And then again, of course, Shivananda says, when the case opened in the court, he saw everywhere, in the magistrate, in the prisoners, everybody, in the lawyers, who? Vasudeva, 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 Krishna, 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 everywhere, he said, Vasudeva, everywhere. How do I fear? He said. And then he says, I have lost my fear completely because of that, because now it is Krishna himself who is doing everything here. And the fear which I had, that had completely gone. My lawyer, Sri himself, he does not see him there. He sees Krishna standing there and defending him there, you see. Months and books held saving. Shijut Chittaranjan Das. So that was Shivananda in the life. So an hour did fall in his life, you see. So you can see how autobiographical Shivananda Savitri is, and our falls comes on man when fail all nature's means. We'll read a couple of things what the mother has said. Yesterday morning, the last veil was almost rent. The last stronghold of the blind and ignorant personality seemed to be on the point of yielding. For the first time, I thought I had understood what true impersonal service was, and the obstacle separating me from the integral realization effectively very fragile to me and on the point of disappearing definitely. But the necessity of my outer duties tore me away from the beneficent and happy contemplation. Necessity of my outer duties tore me away, and therefore my contemplation was lost. And when I was obliged to return to the outer consciousness, the veil closed again, and now seems to me darker than ever. Why this fall into the inconscience of night after so great a light? That is the moment she is arriving here in April 1914, you see, at such an early age, you see. Oh Lord, Lord, wilt thou not then let me escape at last from ignorance and become one with thee? Now that I have known and seen so well what delusion is. Why this night after great and pure light? Why this night after so great and a pure light? So she sees light, but then again there is a night there. Why? All my being is tense and a call of it. And then on another occasion, Lord, thou didst speak to me to the lips of one, those who had known thee. Passages from the prayers and meditation. And this was again in December 1916. We'll read one more passage. Thou hast subjected me to a hard discipline. Rung after rung, I climbed the ladder which leads to thee, and at the summit of this ascent, thou hast made me taste the perfect joy of identity with thee. Then, obedient to thy command, rung after rung, I have descended to outer activities and external states of consciousness, re-entering into contact with these worlds that I live to discover. About Christ we have. Narada was asked about the why of pain in this world, and if it was God who was responsible for it, for the pain, you see. This earth is full of labor, packed with pain, but it is nature who is using it to script man, pain to script man. But a Savior who comes to redeem it must share it first. Then only the dark account can be settled. His crucified voice proclaims, I am God. Yes, all is God. Peace back heaven's deathless reply. Christ on the cross. His crucified voice proclaims, I am God. Yes, all is God. Could this be connected with the hour that arrives when feel all nature's means? Yes, they do, possibly. In St. Matthew's, we have now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land. 6th hour from the morning, 6th hour darkness over the land, and to the 9th hour from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice saying, Eli, Eli, etc. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? That is according to Saint Matthew. Why hast thou forsaken me? This darkened at the death of Jesus. At the death of death, the death itself is in the darkest state. An absolute supernatural darkness falls on man sometimes when he draws near to God. Jesus had offered up himself as the Passover lamb, and there were supernatural signs and workers were witnessed on the day, etc. The Lord said to Moses, Stretch Stretch out your hand toward the sky. Again, in the life of Moses. And there was the darkness that helped Moses. Darkness that helped Moses. There was the darkness for 3 days over the land of Egypt. And behind the darkness was the God of Moses and Abraham, etc., etc. In the Bhakti Yoga, there are many instances of that kind, how the Bhakta, the devotee, feels totally lost because he does not see he is God there at all, he is deity at all. There are many instances that kind. We have here in Savitri a passage. And abyss yawned suddenly beneath her heart. Savitri's heart, beneath her heart. She is doing the yoga, and there is an abyss beneath her heart. An abyss yawned suddenly beneath her heart. A vast and nameless fear dragged at her nerves, as drags a wild beast its half-slaughtered prey. That is how Savitri is dragged, you see. It seemed to have no den from which it sprang. It was not hers, but hid its unseen cause. Then rushing came its vast and fateful sound, a formless dread with shapeless, endless wings, filling the universe with a dangerous brain. A denser darkness than night could bear, a denser darkness than night could bear. See, that is what Savitri is saying here. Envelop with the heaven and possess the earth. A rolling surge of silent death. There cannot be any greater darkness than that. A rolling surge of silent death. It came curving round the far edge of the quaking cloud, effacing heaven with its enormous stride. It wailed to expunge the choked and anguished air and end the fable of the joy of life. The joy of life itself is a fable, and that is what the dread is doing to end it. It seemed to cry to her without thought or word the message of the dark eternity and the awful meaning of its silence out of some sullen, monstrous, vast reason, out of an abysmal deep of grief and fear, imagined by some blind, regardless self, a consciousness of being without its joy, empty of thought, incapable of bliss, that left, that felt life blank and nowhere found its soul, a voice to the dumb, anguish to the heart. So this is what 3.6 is.